You see, most people think their life is a battle. They think their life is a fight. But they don't realize that life is a game. But it's a game that you can't play or be successful in unless you have spiritual knowledge. And by spiritual knowledge, I'm not talking about religion. And what I'm about to say is not for you to believe me. It's for you to believe in yourself. Everything that we look for, everything that we struggle with, the battles, the anxieties, the lack of peace, the struggle with identity, it's all as a result of us pursuing something that is already inside of us. All these things, the things that you and I go through, the lack, the confusion, the anxieties, the fear, the doubt, the feeling of inferiority, even the feeling of misfortune. This is as a result of us not knowing who we are, forgetting who we are. Most negative things we feel in life, the silence you feel, the confusion. And this is why you have to get acquainted with yourself. You can listen to this and you say, man, bro, it's always talking about how we have to know ourselves. Like, why wouldn't you want to know yourself? You are not who you set out to be yet. The purpose you had, the dreams that you had, the calling, the deep calling inside of your soul. The kingdom of God is within you. So, you see that silence that you feel, the restlessness that you feel inside of you. And there are times I felt less restless, and I still do. There are times that I felt like silence. I think now I realize that you see that which you feel inside of you, that hunger, in a way, the passion, the purpose. See, those are not just confusion. Those are calls. Those are divine orders from within. But because of the busyness of the world and your inability to quiet yourself, sometimes it's almost like sometimes you get like a burst of inspiration or a burst of a call where it's like, man, I think I can go deeper spiritually. And even if you don't know what that might look like, but you just know that there is something that it's like, pulling you to be more, pulling you to go after more, like just pulling you. And sometimes, you don't go after that or because, you've lived a certain kind of way all your life and it's like, you don't know where to start. You don't know what the next step is. You don't know. So you just like, and then you just watch TV and then it's like, you reset. And that's why sometimes, you wake up one morning and you feel like, oh, you can take on the whole world. And then most days it's like, oh goodness, there is nothing inside of you. And so when you feel these things, and sometimes you might feel these things in a specific time period, right? Those are calls. Those are divine orders commanding you, calling you to stop living like you've been forgotten. Calling you to wake up, like awaken from your slumber. Look, listen to what I'm about to say. And the reason some people cannot hear the call is because they are not connected with their soul. See, they do not have no spiritual life. Because when you talk about things like this, most people start thinking about religion. But what I'm talking about is not religion. See, the religious focuses on the external. Religious is a system. That's what religion is. It's a system. But what I'm talking about is something deeper. A relationship with the divine, relationship with God. You don't have to look outside, it's within you. And I think that's why most people go through the things that they go through in life, the suffering, the heartbreak, the anxieties, the fear, the battle with identity, because they don't know, they are unaware of the fact that, see, that which they look for is not outside. They don't need nobody from outside to show them. And this is why Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. And this means that the divine realm of right ideas and spiritual powers reside in each and every one of us. Where you're able to come to the place where you acknowledge and connect with God. And this realm of right ideas and spiritual powers which reside in each and every one of us can be accessed through faith, affirmations, right thinking, which allows you to manifest abundance, health, and success in life's game. And this is why it says, keep your heart or your imagination with all diligence, from out of it comes out the issues of life. Listen to what I'm about to say. You see, the restlessness that you feel, the silence, or even the noise that you feel. See, those things are not confusion. They are not attacking you. Those things are calls. The feeling you get inside, almost as if it lights a fire inside of you. Those times when life makes you retreat inside of yourself, and you stay there for a while, and you snap out of it because you don't know what to look for. Like you were not made to shrink. You were not placed here to just drift. You were sent. That means with a purpose. And the one who sent you, the one who put you here, do not apologize for power. If you can listen, if you can internalize this and meditate on this until this becomes law, so you will find out that your life will not just change. You'll become a living proof of purpose. Now, are you hearing what I'm saying? You will no longer walk like a mere person, like a mere man or woman. You will no longer walk like a person who is lost, a person who, with no identity of who they are. You will walk like a person who is sent. Think about how long you've been doing this. Think about how long you've been living You have lived long enough in blindness. You have lived long enough pretending to be less than what you are, settling for less than what you should be doing. And you know this. You're listening to this. You didn't come across this by accident. This is another call. This is another call, a divine call. No, know thyself. You have to act and carry yourself as if God is within you. You have lived your life long enough submitting to fear. And this fear is what creates your life. This fear is what creates what you see. And you go, oh, I didn't want that. And I think that's one thing most people tend to not realize about spiritual laws, is that fear is only an inverted faith. Fear is having faith in evil instead of good. So fear is basically a misdirected faith. Instead of you trusting in good outcomes, that things are going to work out just the way they are supposed to, or things are going to work out for your good, or trusting in the divine power, you're focusing your belief on negative possibilities. So that's fear. And fears attract what you fear. I know of a man who was afraid of a certain sickness, a rare illness. And he would study it, he would look on it, he would think, he would always talk about, and eventually he caught that sickness and he died. And most of you, I don't know, maybe you watch this, you might also be familiar with maybe something like this. And there's a story even about this man called Job. There's something that stuck out to me was how, when he started losing everything in his life, when they came to him and the first time and they gave him the report, he said, wow, that which I greatly dreaded, that which I greatly feared, has finally happened to me. And I know you can go deep in the story and say, this is why it happened. But in a way, that stuck out to me. And I think I've seen it as well in my life too, in the past. The things that we focus on, in a way, I looked at those things as prayer and meditation. And you see, this is why you have to shift your thought. Guide your heart or imagination with all diligence, for out of it comes out all the issues of life. Fear will attract what you dread. Faith will bring positive results. So you have to consciously shift your thought from lack to abundance. I come that they might have life and have it abundantly. Once you mention abundance, most people will think finance, most people will think money. That's limiting mindset. If every time you hear abundance and I talk about abundance and you just automatically think about money, that means you block out every other abundance in a way. And what abundance simply means is just having surplus of. See, that's what abundance is. You have more than enough. You have more than enough. You can have abundance in health. You can have abundance in peace of mind. So once you have knowledge of God, who is the divine, then you know there is no limit to nothing. So instead of operating in fear, operate in faith, which is positive belief, and use this to bring about positive results in your life. And I want to urge you and remind you that you can consciously and you should consciously shift your thought from lack to abundance. Fear is a powerful belief, but it's directed to the things you don't want. That's why it's an inverted faith. It's like a faith in misery or faith in misfortune. Your thoughts create your reality. If you fear failure, that's what you will attract. And the other day I found myself dealing with fear. And I started giving in to the fear. I had to catch myself. And this is one thing that works for me when dealing with fear. You have to replace fear with faith. And in a way, the way that I replace fear with faith is through affirmation. Through positive declaration. No, I will not die. No, I am well. Oh no, yeah, I know what I'm saying now, right? I know what I'm saying, but no, that's not what I'm agreeing with. I would say the opposite of what it is that I do not want. Whether it's poor health. And that's one thing that I feel like I do, at least I really practice, especially when it comes to my health. And I truly believe, like I have no doubt, over a year, we're in December, 2 more days or what, and I didn't even have no flu, nothing. No fever. The only thing I had was sore throat and teeth ache all through the year. Now, I'm grateful. Gratitude. Every single day I give thanks. And when I pray, I don't say, oh God, please keep me well. I say, God, my strength, God, my healer. I speak it as I believe it inside of my soul. Positive declaration, and when you speak those things out, it reprograms your mind and prepares your mind for success and well-being. So from today, I need you to consciously choose to stop living under fear and also get out of the shadow of doubt that you live in, the self-doubt that's making you hesitate. What I'm saying to you is not advice. It's not motivation. I'm not saying this to you so that you believe me. I'm saying this to you so you believe in yourself. If you can hear what is being said, obey it. Make it a personal law. Act as if the kingdom of God is within you, or at least be aware of that realm of right ideas where all your righteous desires reside. You will never be the same person you were before you started watching this video. I guarantee you that. You need to know the truth of who you are. Beneath the stories that you've been told, beneath the excuses that the world has taught you. Look, you were not made small. You have to stop looking down on yourself. You were not sent here or placed here just to survive. Like, what is it that the world has taught you that makes you comfortable with just surviving? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You were sent here with power. You were sent with God Himself written into your spirit. But you're living like a stranger. You're living like an intruder in your own life. And right now, I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself. You apologize for wanting more. I'm not talking about where you see something that belongs to somebody and you want it for yourself. No, that's covered, that's not what we're doing. Some people might have like a specific kind of car or even a better car and they see yours is the one they want. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't want what you have. Never want what somebody else's have. Now, I can see what you have and I'll be inspired. But the difference is, you see, when I see what you have, it makes me happy. Because I see what you have and I know that, oh, this is possible. But I don't want it. See it and be inspired. See it and say, oh, now I know what's possible. And you keep walking by faith and true purpose on your own life, in your own life. God is written in your spirit. The kingdom of God is within you. You hide your fire. You speak with hesitation. You act with delay and wait for approval before you move. I need you to understand that every time that you hide your fire, every time you speak with hesitation, you don't do it because you don't have the ability. You do it because you've forgotten who sent you. You've forgotten that you were sent. So you've forgotten who you are. And that's what the world wants. You see, the world prefers it that way. Because a man or a woman who acts as if God is within them, who moves as if God is within them, you see, now this kind of person can't be controlled. You can't control. How can you control them? No, they are deeper than just the conscious mind. You see, what is the conscious mind? You see, the conscious mind is the mind that just sees life as it is. It sees what it is, just right in front of it. That's the conscious mind. We're talking about somebody who is connected with the divine, who knows their God. And because they know their God, they know themselves. See, they have an identity that's not based on their upbringing, not based on the world around them. Those are people who have learned how to listen to their intuition. You have to listen to your intuition. What is intuition? Being taught from within. Being taught from within, that's your intuition. And yet most people question their intuition. How many times have you questioned your intuition, doubted yourself, your intuition, and only to find out that intuition was right? I mean, think about it. How many times has your intuition failed you? I'm not talking about just unwarranted feelings, right, that are based from trauma, or I'm talking about your genuine intuition. You know what I'm talking about. How many times has it failed you? You were not made small. Like when you were sent here, you were given every single thing. There's a reason why they don't teach this in school. There's a reason why they will promote everything else under the sun before they even talk about this or acknowledge it. Once you carry yourself, once you begin to act, once you begin to move like God is inside of you, once you begin to move like the kingdom of God is inside of you, you will no longer be governable by weakness or governed by fear or noise. I'm talking about the noise that tries to take over your mind. I'm talking about the noise of lust, the noise of greed, the noise of consumerism. You see, you begin to walk differently, build differently, speak differently. And the moment you come around, see, the system that is built on distraction and confusion begins to crumble. Because they have no hold on you. You've transcended it. You no longer move by the things that you see. And so for you to understand the world and play the game of life, you should not just think about things one way. There are certain people, when you say the word manifest, for something to materialize, they go, oh, manifest. You see, that's what I'm saying. So I just say all of those things to say, you are more. You were not made small. You were not created with limits around you. So stop buying into limits. I heard of a woman, and she would get tired of all the things that she have to do, managing her house. She would repeatedly say things like, man, I'm tired of all these things. I wish I live in a car. She said, well, today I actually live in a car. She has unconsciously spoken herself into a trunk. The subconscious mind has no sense of humor, and a lot of people joke themselves into unhappy experiences. And I remember hearing someone one time say, man, bro, this life is hell, man. Life is hell for everybody now. And I said, no, not for me. Not for me. It's like, oh man, it's not that serious. You understand what I'm saying? I said, no, bro, I don't understand what you're saying. You take things too literal. It's not that serious, man. Well, if it's not that serious, then let it go. Don't say it about me. If it's not that serious, let it go. By your words, you'll be condemned. By your words, you'll be justified. I truly believe, and that's what I'm saying. Like once you start moving as if you carry God inside of you, you're not careless with your words. Because you understand the power of your words. Why? Because as you start moving, you will start seeing how the power of your word is creating your own reality. You will start seeing it real time. I know that this is my calling. Well, I'm going to just end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and Happy New Year to you all. I hope you guys, stay safe there and keep being the best that you can be, and continue to do the best with what you have. Love you all.